I don't know what I'm doing. What's up, guys? We're here. We're back. We're back, baby. It's Monday, I think, right? It feels like it's the same day it was last week. I think we're stuck in like a Groundhog's Day type loop. Nothing has happened yet, but we are kicking off the morning here, and price action is, I think, starting to warm up. We're live a little bit early. I appreciate you being here for the live. We're going to go through, I guess, really what's going on this week in markets. We're going to look at gold, stocks, silver, Bitcoin, crypto, all the charts that you want to see. We're going to look for entries and exits. We may take some live trades. We'll show you the positions. We'll do all the goodies. You've done your part. You're here. You're hitting the likes. You're subscribing. You're engaging with the live stream, voting in the poll, and that's going to help out the algorithm. So I appreciate you. I hope you're feeling good. I had some white wine during a day event yesterday, and I think it caught up with me right before the stream. That's why it took me a little bit. But I promise, we're back. We're ready. I went to the gym. I actually got the first good lift of the year. I went to the gym, and like there was nothing open. You know, sometimes you get there, and it's like all the old people are sitting in the squat racks. They're taking up all the benches. That's how it was. So I just got on the treadmill and did like 30 minutes first, and some people cleared out, and I think it was like the first lift I enjoyed all freaking year. So I think that's a good sign. It's a good start. Can I turn this? Why is there no dark mode? Why is this not? I need this on dark mode. Let's take a look at Crypto Craft. I'm not sure why I can't get it on dark mode. So watch your screens. It may get very, very bright here. Let's check it up. It is just a casual Monday, and I guess nothing is going on. That's very unusual. Absolutely nothing going on. Our market's not open. Is it President's Day? Is it something? God, these holidays, dude. Who cares? Is it a holiday today? Why are there no events? National Day. National Almond Day. Well, this is really important work. It is Miss Teen Crypto Randy's birthday, so shout out to her. Happy birthday to her. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. It is Tug of War Day. No, that's coming up. That's... Wow. It's National Almond Day. You know, I think pecans have been rugged again. It should be National Pecan Day, but instead it's National Almond Day. Who even likes almonds? Nobody. I've never heard anyone ever say they like almonds. Not even once. It's always about pecans. The world's a rug. That is for sure. I guess it's a holiday because there's no events. Chat, what is it? It's President's Day. Is that like an actual holiday? What do we do on President's Day? Do we celebrate? I don't think I've ever celebrated a President's Day, but if you're off work, awesome. That's a come up. So nothing today, but we do have some interesting stuff this week that is going to impact markets. On Wednesday, we have a slew of data, building permits. We've got durable goods, the UKSC PI that was added, I guess, to this list that hasn't really been on there in the past. FOMC minutes is the big one. We're going to be live for that here on Wednesday at 1:30, and you should be here. It's going to be a great stream. We're coming down to our last FOMCs with Chirp Power, our last minutes, so we got to make these ones count. So you got to be there. Mark it on your calendars. Wednesday, 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Oh, there we go. Oh, that was a good one. That's likely going to be the biggest driver. I think there's going to be some interesting things said. Why can I not find this? No, there we go. Interesting things said there. In the minutes, we're going to get the inside scoop on what Powell and the Fed was thinking during the last meeting. There may be some comments on labor numbers. They were talking about them being downward revised. I believe the totals coming in downward revisions at about 1 million jobs for 2025. Shocking, honestly, nobody who follows markets. It seems that the data that we get has probably always been pretty shitty. It's not just last year that they've had revisions on job numbers. It seems to be a difficult task for the Labor Bureau to do for whatever reason. I don't know. But that is a big downward revision, and in reality, it's just not shocking. Jobs are not blossoming from the job trees like they used to be. And it's also interesting that people were really throwing up these job numbers and saying, oh yeah, all these new jobs. But it's also the same people talking about AI replacing jobs. And it's like these two narratives are colliding. It is unlikely that we're going to, like, in a meaningful way, I think, create new jobs with AI moving into the job sector that aren't part-time, aren't, gig work. I don't think we're going to be really like coming in with extra jobs. I think that automation is going to take jobs out of the market. So that's logical. I guess the pace at which it does it is more important than its actual existence. Unhighlight. U.S. building permits, industrial production. I don't even know. Government NZ, New Zealand, something in New Zealand. Usually this doesn't have these other countries here. Wednesday's going to be a big day. Does not look like Tuesday has anything in the U.S. U.S. Empire State. Ooh, Empire State. Remember like 10 years ago, everybody was like, Empire State, because the song, Kanye West, New York. Whatever happened? Whatever happened to that man, dude? I feel like there's a conspiracy theory that something happened to that man, and it just drove him insane. He used to make such good music. Now he's just crazy. Thursday, we got numbers as well. Trade balance, unemployment claims. That'll probably be the highlight of the week outside of the FOMC on Thursday. Really, all eyes are looking at employment and unemployment. Pending home sales will be interesting. January had its first downward or discount on new homes. New homes were selling for like a lower amount month over month, I think, or maybe it was year over year than previous. And I don't think we've had a downward revision like that, or downward revision. It's in my head now. A markdown on new home cost in a long time. Interesting. I guess we're all buying homes. Probably not. Revised UOM customer sentiment, UO inflation expectations. I guess, I'll have to look into this. I don't know why scheduled revised. What's happening with that? There are fears that the government will shut down again this month. Probably weighing in on markets here. Nothing they haven't seen over the last year, but something. A lot of people work for the government. The government is one of the biggest employers, I think, in the United States. And when it shuts down, people don't get paid. That hits the bottom line. Like I said, gold, silver, Bitcoin not moving yet into this new week, but we do have weekly opens to go through and obsess over. Try to find meaning when maybe there isn't any. Let's do it. Man, honestly, I am surprised at these weekly closes. Bitcoin, gold, and silver all closing kind of weak. Obviously, different weaknesses here. Silver and Bitcoin kind of mirroring each other with these droopy red candles. We see these candle bodies getting thinner on Bitcoin and silver, maybe suggesting a loss of downward momentum or bears, sellers having a little exhaustion, but still no real signs of recovery. And that's kind of wild. After late January, the mania of silver. Still, I think there's still rumblings and there's still people kind of mania about it. But man, that is... I feel like silver's weekly chart right now is the chart on Bitcoin that every cycle I watch happen and I go, oh yeah, it'll just go back up. Like, yeah, it's just a dip. And then it doesn't, and the bear market's here. Like, this is so reminiscent of all of the times that I have just like been so bullish, so perma bullish, and just like watched the market shit itself for another year. Maybe I'm applying that too quickly. I don't know, but that's how I feel. It's like, it's right there. Gold shining, standing out as the winner, I think, between these assets this morning. Closed last week up just barely. Here we are already in just a few hours of trading. Traded back to last week's open. Little bottom wick, not a lot of movement, but still filling that candle. Filling last week's candle pretty quickly. Closing up, like... These wicks are a little bit more confident. I think that is not anything new for us here on this channel. We have higher lows, some kind of flat top, some resistance being painted about 5,000. I think that we're still looking for gold to make a move back to the 5,500 area. That could happen this week. I'd be surprised if it doesn't happen this week. But still standing out as the stronger asset, in my opinion, for the week ahead. at least into the first few hours of Monday. I suppose with President's Day, stocks are not open then. We're not seeing trading here. That could be a very logical, yep, there we are. They're not going to open until Tuesday. Very logical reason to see low volatility here into Monday morning. I got up and I was actually, maybe that's why I had a good time at the gym. I wasn't distracted by the markets like I typically am because not a lot was happening. I guess that's it. I guess that'd be why. I don't even need to have these stock charts open because they're not moving. They're not doing anything. I don't know why this one won't load. I'm going to move this off screen. I kept trying to get this one chart to load earlier. It just keeps spinning. I thought my internet was out. Bitcoin, though, does not stop trading. I guess neither does gold. I mean, gold and silver shouldn't, right? They're not just in the U.S., though U.S. markets for it probably aren't. But we have a new weekly open on CME, everyone's least favorite concept in Bitcoin at this point. The Chicago Mercantile Exchange opening to a gap, as it seems to always do. That gap down to 66.2. Oh, we have a gap from last week. 66. Or no, that's not from last week. That is from Thursday into Friday. Opening up, gap down to 66.2 for this weekend. And we actually do have another gap that was created on Thursday into Friday's trading. Interesting. And that is about at 66.2 to 65.5 down below. Trading down there into this week, probably a good spot to be looking for a very probably short-lived bounce, but hey, a bounce nonetheless. The gaps have largely eluded us over the last few weeks. We dropped down in January, leaving a gap above us at 84. We were looking for this to get filled in over the last few weeks. It has not happened, but still it remains a solid place to look for a short or hedge position. Regardless, when we fell down in February, we did not fill the gap from all the way back in October of 24 at 60,000. That still sits there. Price traded exactly to the top of the gap before rebounding. And here we are in our sideways hellhole. We'll call it that. The sideways hellhole. I think that chart that won't load is the one that I want to show. Let's see where this guy's at. No. I'm so terrible at organizing charts. You guys the same way? Like I'll name them. I won't even rename them. I'll just copy and be like, I'll remember it. Really, I think I'll just keep the chart up and not close it. And that ends up not working. I guess I can just remake it here quick. No, I won't do that actually. That's too much. That's too much time. Dang. It was the fractal chart. See some. I gotta move this screen. There we go. Really quick. First copy. This isn't it. I think I just already opened that one. Nah, here we go. I did it. I'm proud of myself. Let's go. The fractal chart. Too close for comfort here. I do not like this at all. I do not like these green eggs and ham. I do not like them, Sam. I am. Here we are, trading almost exactly in the fractal, painting out this bear flag. And so if we are going to continue following it, and honestly, I think that's probably the play, as it's been following pretty well. I think as soon as we deviate from this bar pattern from 2022, then we dismiss it. At this point, it's really followed it closely. We can probably get some trading edge by looking for, trading into the pattern. And so what we would do here would be looking for into this week, probably a move upwards, a break from the bear flag, a short-lived fake break that is sold off and then looks for a leg down. That is what the bar pattern, the 2022 price action would be looking for. And we are really just so close. We're sitting right here nested, hitting a low, painting the bear flag, trading sideways. It is virtually identical. If we see a short-lived rally, I'll call like 76. I feel like it should be higher than 76, but we'll go with it. 76, upwards of 80. That gets sold off, comes back to basically the bear flag for a little bit of hopium. We may look too short a rally this week, according to this pattern. I don't like this, but feels good to have something that's just like, I don't know, it feels like a little in control. It's like, well, it's following this pretty closely. It's not what I want to happen with price, but at least if it keeps following it, I will have a little heads up on what is to come. Cashews everyone's favorite. That's not true. Pecans are everyone's favorite. 1 million out of 1 million people were polled, and 1 million people said cashews were the nut of choice. Just facts. Live with it. Dang, this put the brakes on my charts for today because I did not think it was a holiday. I did not think it was a holiday today. That's fine. It'll give us more time to look at other stuff. I don't expect gold or silver to do any big moves today. Not while U.S. markets are closed, but we may see them open pretty spicy into Tuesday. And of course, the FOMC on Wednesday gives us plenty to look forward to in this week for sure. These nuts actually came in a close second to pecans. Pecans first, these nuts were second. Silver's still struggling. Yeah, looking for the move into Monday. Silver's still there. The thumbnail is very spooky, and we've been doing a spooky trend of thumbnails. They're really easy to make, and they have really good click-through rates. That's why I've been doing them. Is actually the chart of the day. Tether dominance. Tether dominance continues to be an absolute dick in our side. Well, it did kind of top out locally. I think locally is the way to say it. The first week of February, we are still here, and this is still looking like the bottom. The top is not in. We have almost the exact same move in November, where we hit a high, a local high, a local top, and then essentially painted like a falling wedge before breaking out again. We predicted the falling wedge breakout. It happened. Here we are in virtually the same scenario. A nice push to the upside. We remarked on this last week as kind of mind-boggling. Tether dominance has already traded almost all the way back to its high of the last bear market. That's crazy when you think about it. You can think of it maybe in a hopium sense of like, well, that means it's close to the bottom. I don't know if that's a great way to get your hopes up, but it is surprising that it has climbed so fast. Now, it's not a surprise that it went up, that it's climbing. That makes sense. But the speed at which it did it bottomed out in October of 25. In 1 month, doubled its dominance. And then from November into February, just 2-3 months later, almost doubled again, moving back to those highs. This thing is trucking. I've long been a critic of people who remove stablecoins from, let's say, the Bitcoin dominance chart, which we can look at. And I think at first, when I criticized it, it made sense to say, oh, it's part of the ecosystem. It's still tokenized. It's still on chain. It's still like value captured in this system. And so it should be included. Tether dominance is making me wonder if I should backtrack on that. This is moving just so crazily that it might be kind of skewing all the other things. That is my thought. It might be skewing dominance. And it by this move alone, it's just Tether. It's not all the other stables. It is having a direct impact on dominance. And so maybe removing it from Bitcoin dominance will be something that I should do. I can look at that. I can even look at that today. But this does not look to me like it's done. This is, as soon as we broke August 24th's high, it was like the bear market signal, man. It was late. I know it wasn't the earliest bear market signal, but my God, this is not a good sign. I'm not sure how to do the analysis on this. I suppose I say that, and I should just do the same thing I always do with everything that goes to all-time highs, right? Why treat this differently? I guess I want to treat it differently. I'm not sure why, but I can acknowledge that, and that's good. We should do the same thing we always do, which is just use our fib tool. So we'll do just that. Let's take the high from the previous bear market, drag it down to our low of the bull market, and extend upwards. Looking for those extension moves into price discovery. 13% flat, solid. 15% flat. These are really, well, 15.3. That's not flat. These are logical numbers. I think. Basically, it topped out at 10% in the last bear market. 15% would show a 50% growth in 4 years from bear market to bear market. I like those numbers. 15%, if it comes, and it does kind of look likely, honestly, over this year, is going to be a really solid wake-up call for anybody in this market, stacking or trading. If we hit 15%, I think that is a very strong signal that Bitcoin, at least, I won't extend this to all of the crypto space, but Bitcoin is likely at very good value, whatever it is. This is maybe not the exact bottom. It certainly could be, but if this comes, it is a very strong signal that we are now likely undervalued for Bitcoin, whatever it is at the time. Doesn't even matter what the price is. 13%, 15%, that's solid. Solid. We still have to break through the previous all-time high, so this may see a deceleration in its climb, and that could lend out to a year where we have slower downward price action, which would make sense if we're seeing a typical bear market year. It doesn't happen all at once, right? It tends to fall really fast, and then we even saw this at the end of 22. We had like a 6-month period of, it did fall, but it basically just moved sideways for those 6 months before bottoming. That would lend itself to what I'm about to say, which is dominance could easily move up to that all-time high, even break it, move back down, and spend some time moving sideways for a higher low before looking for that final bottom, that final leg to the top. That would fit pretty well. Right now, though, I'm not going to discount it. I think that this is a very bullish chart. Unfortunately, there's no way to trade this directly, I don't think. Going into stables is probably the suggestion, but I don't know. If dollars are really where I'd want all my money at right now, I'm not sure. Good chart to keep an eye on, though. I think we'll see likely more of the same, where it just trends down and then looks for a breakout. Flag down, look for the breakout. But this is the spooky chart. This is what's not good. It does not look like it's done. It's giving us a breather, but it is not a chart that is finished with the pain. It's my opinion. What's up, line? Did S ascending triangle become a bear flag when it failed to get back to 2140? Ascending triangle. Let me pull up Ethereum. It's right here. Ascending triangle when it failed to take back to 2140. Well, Ethereum against Bitcoin looks like trash still. This is trash. This looks like it wants to unravel, and Lord knows. It looks terrible against Bitcoin. I'm assuming, though, you're looking at something like this. So ascending triangle. This become a bear flag when it failed 2140. Absolutely. Absolutely. I am always a skeptic of bear flags and bull flags in crypto. I've just really never seen them have an edge. Maybe even there's an edge of they're inverted, like to counter trade them. Honestly, you typically with a bear flag would look, if I make a video, a tutorial video, and put it to our free trading course on YouTube, I would probably in the video have something like this, right? I would have a short position because we're in a bear flag, the stop above the high of the flag, and we would look for like a measured move down, right? We would look for here. This would be the video, the tutorial evergreen video of how to trade these. Unfortunately, this in crypto just doesn't work. I swear to God, it does not work. Even looking at the fractal for Bitcoin into 22, we were looking for a move like this that basically ruins the bear flag trade, pops down lower high and dunks, right? So it's almost like crypto specifically punishes these flag plays. That's why you see me avoid them often. But it is, you've identified this correctly. You can see this is a bear flag as we have a pole. I mean, it's a little janky because we're on an hour, You have your pole, you have a high, you have a low, and now you're painting lower high or higher lows, lower highs as you tighten up here. And then typically you'd say, okay, bear flag, you're looking for the breakdown, right? Typically. I don't play them that way. I will say that Ethereum has lost some of its mojo. I know that when we had initially fallen, I was enjoying this pattern. I thought that this looked good. You had tests of resistance and buyers coming in higher. It was looking more like this low was going to hold. With this move down and a failed rally up, you know, this has lost the flat top that we were looking at for, say, gold. Gold is that nice flat top with its lows coming up. Ethereum has lost that, so this is, in my opinion, a more bearish structure than it had. Looking at 𝐂𝐴𝐳 I don't have high hopes that this is going to look for a move up next. I think it is logical to prep to fade moves. Fade moves that rally. I think if Ethereum trades back to, say, 2,500, there's an awesome short there, an awesome hedge, or an awesome profit take. But, man, it doesn't really look like it wants to go there right now, does it? Ethereum is in trouble. Like, Ethereum has speed run this bear market. Like, Ethereum didn't even really do an all-time high, but broke its all-time high in August, hit 5,000, and traded down 65% since August, like in 6 months. I guess that's not, maybe that's not really a speed run, to be honest. In 6 months, that adds. But it's, I guess it's more like since November, December, it's fallen 55%. That's why it feels like a speed run. And specifically, this 3,300 to 1,700 in January alone. Damn, that's why. Yeah, fell 50% in January. That's why it feels like a speed run. Here, so like just really quick to reference what I was explaining about the flags. Here we go. Ethereum right here looked gorgeous. This is a great lesson in trading. This looks gorgeous. It looked so bullish, but it didn't break to the upside. The reason this is a good lesson in trading is this pattern we look for on this channel all the time, whether it's to break to the upside here, or obviously in the other scenario when it's a flat bottom to break to the downside. We pretty consistently hit this, but there is no pattern. There are no combinations of signals or patterns or indicators or whatever. There is no combination that always hits. It's just no such thing. The best we can hope for is just a probabilistic edge, meaning beating that coin flip. 51%, 52%, like that is where profit is made. This looked awesome and it did not play out. I would have lost money on this trade for sure. Like for sure, because I would have looked for this to work. And if I would have taken that trade in a theoretical bubble 10 times, I probably would have won 6 or 7 of them. But this one took us out. Absolutely took us out. This is I don't know. Happens a lot more in crypto. Kind of what manipulation. I don't know, manipulation's not the word. But this really made this chart bearish. Losing that was just wild. I'm still in shock. This was so strong. I guess we had, all right, maybe let's game theory this, right? Ethereum looked strong here. Fell to the downside. I wonder with this flag if we're going to paint a very weak structure, which maybe arguably we've already started, but weak meaning maybe we'll see a fake break to the downside and then a recovery simply because it's like the opposite. I don't know. It's a little game theory, a little market maker trickery. It's like paint something strong and then fail, paint something weak immediately after everyone assumes it's going to fail, and then maybe that's when you go for the retracement. My issue, though, with Ethereum and many charts, many charts, is that you didn't paint an all-time high. You didn't hit all-time high. Literally, you did, but you didn't. You didn't have any price discovery there. No price discovery, no increased upside. Like, we have seen this in the space on just infinite coins, like XRP in 22, or XRP in 17 into 21, Litecoin in 17, 21. Like, we've seen so many coins do this, and it seems like as soon as they fail to make an all-time high in a cycle, they, you know, until proven otherwise, just don't seem to do much after. They don't, like, they're just kind of stuck there, at least for another cycle. We haven't had enough time to tell yet. But it's like maybe back in that bubble, right? It's back into this set. It wasn't before. In 17, Ethereum hit 1,400, beautiful new all-time high into 21, and not many coins did that in that period. Most of the coins that had all-time highs in 17 didn't do anything in 21, like I just said. Ethereum wasn't part of that. Unfortunately, until proven otherwise, Ethereum has kind of settled back into that category. It still can brush it off. It still can change. But now you're all the way back to your lows. Like, you're back here after hitting a higher high. Where do you go if you lose April's low? It's remarkable too that you're still above April's low. You're still 40% up from April, where I can't name another. I mean, how many coins in the space can you name that are up since April? Very few. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I can't. But you lose April's low, and what are you doing, right? Like, you don't have that much room below you till you're back to the previous bear market low. What's going on with these coins? It's weird. It's like you expect them to get back to these prices, but like more towards the end of the run. Brains just, gears are turning. Maybe that is suggestive of like the long 6 months of like sideways, like weak recovery, the Q4 drive down and then the bottom's in. Where do you go? I don't know. It's just weird. Like, if you have another leg down on Ethereum here without rallying, like, you just, what, back to April's low, and this chart just looks weird. If like a double bottom, we come back up for a lower high and get wrecked. I don't know, man. I don't think that all alts are cooked. I think that the alt proposition has changed a lot since 21, even more since 17. I don't think Ethereum's days are over or something like that, but like, man, what is going on with these charts? I genuinely do not know. We're just in weird waters. One thing I do know, though, is looking at this bear market, or looking at this bear flag. Let's wrap this back to the concept, the bear flag. Absolutely in a bear flag. Here's how I would look to trade this in potentially almost every coin that is looking at this pattern, which is a lot of them. A break to the upside first, I likely would look for a short. I likely would look for the reverse position of however this resolves initially. So if Ethereum breaks down from this bear flag and heads towards 1700, I might look for a long around that 1700 mark. Not a huge play, maybe back 2100. If it breaks up first, I probably would look for a short, and I'd prefer that at 2500. I don't know if you get it. But I think we're going to see a pretty spicy fake break of this flag. And then the trend will likely resolve. So if you're bullish, I think you want it to break down first. If you're bearish, I think you want it to break up first. I think this can be applied to a lot of charts. Until then, I think most of these are just going to continue to consolidate, continue to tighten. Highs will come down, lows will come up. Just look for that play. I mean, you could even look for the short at 2150. I think that's a little early. But man, this price action taught us it might not be a bad idea. The fact that this failed is still mind-boggling, dude. This is crazy. You even tested it, and all right, I gotta move on. I don't know. What the hell happened? What happened? What happened? What happened to our dreams? They became memes. What's up, Chris Goss? Chris Goss. Crypto prices being suppressed. I guess. By who? To what ends, you know? What's the argument has always been like institutions are keeping the price down so they can buy more Bitcoin. It's like, I don't know. Has that ever been true? Is that ever like really what's happening? Is it really what's happening? Or is it just, I don't know, sellers? People taking profit. Let's see. Bitcoin dominance minus USDT. Can we just do it that simply? Ooh, very different chart. Obviously, if we're going to subtract Tether dominance, we should just subtract stables. I wonder why there's not. Is there a stable dominance? Stablecoin dominance ticker. Trading view. USDT. Stablecoin dominance. Stable. .c.d. Is that real? C.d. Hey, look at that. Okay, well, don't look at that. Is it really that different, though? We've already seen stables. That's interesting, because I was saying Tether to hit 15. We've already seen all total stables hit like exactly 15%. Is that real life? It's very annoying that we only have data back to May, because why do we only have data back to May? Just plug in the data you have, TradingView. Plug in Tether. Plug in in USDC, whatever. Like, why do that? I like this, though. They wish to control stable.c.d. Yeah, that's what I have, but it only has a little bit of data. Why? Why? I guess I can do minus USDT.d minus USD. And then there's all these bullshit stables. I don't even know if we should like count any of these, right? Like let's see. USDC, yes. Tether, yes, we should count them. But then like, what is this? Figure Hellock. And this is on CoinGecko. So CoinGecko is not, I don't know, they don't usually put bullshit up. What is this? Does anyone have any idea? Has anyone ever used this? Has anyone ever used Figure Hellock with its $15 billion market cap for stable? What is that? USDS. What is that? It has $10 billion. That one I've heard of at least. USD1. I mean, we all know what USD1 is. Have you ever used USD1? Does anyone ever use USD1? Is this like a real stable coin in that sense? Like, should we include that? PayPal USD, $4 billion. Again, does anybody use that? I've never used it. This one, I mean, I think we can at least say, well, PayPal is a payment processor. They already, they deal with money. At least we know what they are, and we know that, 4 billion for them is probably not the craziest number. Look at all these crazy stable coins. Falcon USD. What is Falcon USD? HELOC stands for Home Equity Line of Credit. That's great clarification, my friend, but I don't know. Do you believe any of it? Like, do you believe any of it? I don't really believe it. BlackRock USD Institutional Digital Liquidity Fund. Interesting. Well, here you go. BlackRock, 2 billion. Okay, like it even says no volume, so I guess no one's using it. But a $2 billion market cap, I could believe it because at least I know what BlackRock is. I've heard of it. Circle USD 1.5. Look at all these fucking stable coins. Global Dollar Okay, USDG is like Gemini's. I've used that. Top ranking shit coins. But isn't this weird to you guys? Don't you think it's weird? Ripple USD 1.5 billion. Don't you think it's weird? Doesn't it rub you a weird way? It's rubbing me a weird way, not a good way. It's jerking against me. What is this? Super State Short Duration U.S. Government Securities Fund. All this stablecoin stuff starting to it's starting to give me anxiety. It's starting to feel dangerous, isn't it? USDTB. What is that? $1 billion market cap. Billion USDTB. All right, I don't know. I don't even know which ones to include in this. See, that's the thing. At this point, it's like very confusing as to which should be used. Yo, also, Lion, I don't know if you did any more research on that HELOC thing. You said it's like home equity line of credit. $15 billion market cap, 54 billion or $54,000 in volume. Bro, I can do $54,000 in volume on an exchange right now. Like in 1 second, in like the smallest trade where I profit nothing and lose nothing. Like, what? How can we count these? Like they aren't real. That's not real. 5 million of volume on 10 billion market cap. That's bullshit. This seems the most bullshit to me. I'm not gonna lie. This seems the most bullshit to me. 5 billion, and then it has 2 billion of volume. But dude, where's that volume? Who's using it? Has anyone in this chat used any of those stable coins at all? Alts have failed their 4-year cycle. That's a possibility. We need some tunes. I can take some tunes, Zach. Zach, do you have any suggestions? I went to open YouTube and I typed in Zach. Zach. Hit Odessa, Pandora. Stay Odessa. Odessa, I can do like a playlist. Electronic duo playlist. Or no, mix. Oh, mix. YouTube always recommends mixes to me, and then this is like the first time it's like, yeah, no mix. Let's see. I gotta make sure this is really turned down. Hold up. Let's see. Zach has good music choices. Typically. He hasn't steered me wrong yet. Oh. Launch your speakers. I think we're good. Okay. You never know. You open a song and like the first 30 seconds, it's like whisper quiet, and then it's just like nuclear explosion loud. Okay, should be good. Okay. It's a good vibe. I don't know if this is even what you were talking about, Zach, but chilling. Here we go. Volume good. Might be a little too loud. All right. I was just bitching about stablecoins. What's going on with these? But what even are these? Really quick though. Have you guys just put a 1 in chat if you've never used whatever HELOC is? USD1. Let's say PayPal USD. Let's throw it in there. Where's the other one? Falcon USD. Circle USD. I mean, at least we know. Look, Circle USD, 1.5 billion, $40 of volume. So literally no one uses this. How do we include this? Ripple USD. BF USD. What is BF USD? Where are all these like little $1 billion popping up? Binance. Okay, that's Binance USD. Anybody? You've USDC and DAI, same. USDC, USDT, BN USD, same. Exactly. I've used USDT, USDC, USDG. I just use like the top. I don't know, the originals, right? So the whole point of this was, how do we look at Bitcoin dominance? How do we look at it, right? Without stables. There is a stable.c.d, but it doesn't. We're not really sure even what it's calculating, and there's not a lot of history, so it's not a good thing to use. Let's use USDT, USDC. What is the next biggest one? I guess we'll. What is this? USDS? Oh my god. Sky Protocol. What the hell is Sky Protocol? Okay, wait. It says it serves as an upgraded successor to DAI. Wait, yeah, DAI wasn't even on that list. Did DAI just like DAI? Okay, there you go. DAI 4.1 billion. I guess we'll get like DAI out of here. DAI-D, here we go. USD1.D. I don't think there is a USD1.D. Can't even do it good in one. Wait, USD1W. What is USD1W? I'm gonna just hope that's the same thing. Let's see if this even generates. Okay, we only have data back to May. It keeps happening. We only have data back to May. I wonder if it's the USD one. That's probably, if that's the case, if it is this one, that's probably why the stable.c.d doesn't work. Yep. It's because of USD one. Either way, once we remove even just Tether, we see a different picture versus Bitcoin dominance. And I had long rejected this idea, but I think it is time. I think it's time. It's got to come back. We've got to look at it this way. Or at least we need to, we don't have to look at it this way, but at least we have to just like examine it. Oh, they're same percent. Yes. Same percent. That's still not quite right. Hold up. Didn't even price scale, even though it's cheating. It's cheating. What we really want to look for, though, I think, is we want to look for when they're correlated and when they're not, basically. You can see they're a pretty damn close fit. Pretty close fit. For almost all of their existence, they have been very, very correlated. That makes sense. It's logical, especially because stablecoins apparently up until a year ago. This is really telling. This is maybe what we should all be talking about. Up until like a year ago, and it's just a rough date. Maybe it was longer. Stablecoins had grown, I'd say, kind of linearly, more linearly. They were like more consistent, more 45-degree angle growth. And it appears in the last like year or two, they have exploded, in not just in number, like in market cap, but also in how many, right? And like the quantity of them. Yo, why you come into a stream and do this? Why do you? There you go, Bitcoin. It's not doing anything. We're talking about other stuff. We're talking about Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance. All right, dude. Thanks. Thanks. Ah, Pickle, there you go. I was gonna do it. Just like, I don't know, like it's okay to spam, but why do it for like ever? Like you cleared the whole chat. Shut up. Bitcoin dominance, stablecoin dominance. This is important. Because there's been such a disconnect. Bitcoin dominance has been like deceiving us. And it might even be, this might even be like engineered. This is why I said this is like what we should be talking about. It almost looks engineered to me. Like that stable coins are being printed to keep this chart this way. Like look at it. Look at how sideways this has been. And this is like when May was when they all took off. Kind of May-ish. That was from Bitcoin's price dropping, but they seem to be exploding at the rate that keeps dominance right here. When you subtract them, it's a totally different picture. Subtracting the stables from it gives you a blow off top and a reversal. What's interesting too is like, so the highest points and the lowest points of dominance logically have been bear market bottoms and bull run tops. Like the bottom of dominance here when we subtracted stables was November 22. That's the bottom, the exact bottom. Typically, we thought that we would see dominance drop in the bull market. It didn't. But because it didn't, wouldn't we have expected then the top there to be the top of the bull market? Something is weird. Something's very strange here. You can see that this topped out in June. It's kind of like an unremarkable time for price, right? June 25. Here. Okay. Just like randomly right here. Bitcoin kept going. Yeah, dominance reversed. It's been in a downtrend since then. This paints a different picture. There's like alpha to be had here. I think USDT, USDC, and DAI are like a good stablecoin index. I wonder why this is being limited now. Is it USDC? Why is this data limited? Yeah, USDC a little bit. I don't understand why they don't just calculate these. Why not just calculate them all? They want to just calculate it with all the data. And then, okay, well, USDC didn't exist before or whatever, you know, the data didn't exist for you. Then just put in 0 for those dates. Why do you have to like restrict? I don't know. It's triggering me. Another interesting point here, and actually an important point, is when you subtract Tether, you did hit a lower low in the previous bear market on dominance. That's something that's like kind of janked up the chart and been weird on just Bitcoin dominance, is we never broke lower, which we logically would expect to. Never broke lower. Higher low versus 2017. Tether is the separator. So like this buffer right here is all Tether. This is actually a much more bearish chart. Bearish on dominance. When you subtract Tether from dominance, it's a much more bearish chart. Yeah. You have a low, you have a lower high, you have a lower low, and now you have a lower high. On top. Now my brain's going. They're actually. So I said that the reversals would be at bear market bottoms, bull market tops. That's actually looking not correct. Bull market tops seem to mark reversals on it every time. Actually, but look at this. June 19. September 19. That doesn't cleanly fit. December 20? Right before all-time high was broken? And then just totally different behavior. That's weird. It's weird. It's not consistent. I was thinking that maybe these reversals actually came with like just highs. Like in 2019, I thought that this top was like going to then be right here, but it's not. It's here. It doesn't make any sense. There's no like real consistency. Super Bowl champ in the chat. TB12, what? What's up, Sharknado? Because you are delicious. Thank you, Powered by Ether. I appreciate you. Ultimately into Bitcoin. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah. What's weird though is when you subtract dominance from Tether, actually alts apparently versus June have been gaining against Bitcoin. Not an insane amount. It wasn't quickly. It wasn't like a wild run up. But you look back to June and alts are actually up 20% over Bitcoin. And what was interesting is when we added the other stables, this actually was more. It's more of a bleed. But then where is this bleed? What alts are gaining against Bitcoin since June? I guess many alts could be up from specifically June in their Bitcoin pair. Ethereum's up since its April low of 25. So that, you know, Ethereum is in there. And typically when you look for dominance moves, you're going to be looking at the top coins because they have the biggest impact on dominance. Ethereum, XRP. When I say top, I mean the highest market cap. Solana, like, but all those coins have been bleeding. So where the hell is this going? This is interesting. I'm nerding out here. What can we... What we can also say definitively is, dude, look at it. This whole run from 22. The entire run of 22 looks nothing like the rest of the chart. Like nothing like the rest of dominance history. It looks totally different. Undeniably and totally different. It's just a channel. Nothing else happened. It's just in a channel. Nothing else was like that. Like this was all like big moves up, big moves down, big moves up. Lots of rotation. And then this. That. I guess the only part of the chart it looks similar to is right here. Is the end of, what, the end of the 21 cycle. That all looks just like its own thing. There's secrets here. There's secrets. Dump it. What's up, Squirrel? What's up, J-Day? Do Tang, Hidden Bull. BCH doing pretty good? BCH has been doing pretty good. BCH has... I was saying that BCH was the second strongest chart in crypto. Next to Ethereum. Or next to Ethereum. God, where's my brain at, dude? Next to Monero. Monero, obviously, no longer. It did its little move. It's done. That might make BCH the most bullish one, which is weird. It does not look bad here. The kicker, the spice is BCH's pair against Bitcoin is doing well, and it continues to do well. Its dollar value has moved sideways a lot. It's really spent a long time around this 500 zone. I was looking for it to break out a long time ago to 1,000. I still think the chart is looking for that. The swing low recently is not great. Definitely not great to have broken that low after a higher high. But against Bitcoin, it has gained. Now, you have to put this into context. It's gained. It's gained, but it is still very, very far down, and you can view that as more room to move up. That's fine. You can say, well, this price action doesn't really look like what we've seen in the past. Maybe that means some reversal. You should still put it into the perspective of, yeah, you're still below some major resistance. Maybe you're looking for, you know, that move back to resistance at 0.1. Nice psychological number. It's about 30% move from here. If you had bought BCH in February of last year instead of Bitcoin, you'd be up a lot. But that's very cherry-picked. Incredibly cherry-picked, but nonetheless. I can see BCH returning to 0.1. Wow, that looks good too. Weekly RSI looks strong. It's weird. It's weird. It was weird when we saw Monero run as well. Now, all-time highs. I don't think you're going to see all-time highs in either pair here. Dollar or Bitcoin. Yeah. In USD or BTC. At least in the short term. But you could see growth. Remember, the all-time high for BCH is like 4,000 or something. It's like a 10x. It's unfortunately its BTC pair is looking stronger than its USD pair, and usually you want both at once for those big gains. I can still see a move to 1,000. I definitely can see a move back to like 700. It's hit there many times. I think that there's probably still a trade from 500 to 600, 700. It's going to lose some of its points. Some of its credit here. Ooh, it's kind of spicy. 50 week. One of the few, this is interesting too. It's like one of the few that is well off its 200-week moving average. Many coins have hit it. Many have traded below. Many are seeking it out right now. Down at 300. I think that could suggest value down here. You know, even if you think BCH is going to have a great run, which, I mean, this chart, I think, wants it. Been saying that. Whenever it returns to reality, I mean, 300 is probably, or the 200-week is probably a great spot to look. It's probably a nice value. When I go into alts, almost zero when I go into Bitcoin. I don't know about that. What money's going into alts, dude? People who have been buying alts, like how I don't imagine they have money left. Honestly, it's a really sweeping statement, and obviously is not applicable to everything. But like, I don't know. Are people really buying alts? I kind of don't think so. I don't think people are buying crypto though. I think just in general they're not. I think that the fresh capital entering crypto, and when I say fresh, I mean like new retail capital, is virtually zero. I wish it wasn't so. I think all the money went over to gold and silver recently. I don't know what the flows are for ETFs. I haven't looked at those in months. Anybody keep up with that? ETF flows. I haven't looked at them in literally months. Let's see. Yeah, they don't tell you about having a beard. It's like food with a beard is weird. Just a weird setup. Who just wants to hang on to it? Where are the ETF flows? ETFs premium discount. Some institutions. ETF flows. Let's do ETF AUM. That makes more sense. Okay. Does not appear that there are many buyers going out with these ETFs. I'd agree. Since October. That's weird, right? I guess not. October was all-time high. October 7th. Trade lower. Okay. Since October, ETF AUM, basically throw them all in one big pot and measure them, has decreased 150 billion. Is that really all it ever was? 150 billion? I guess that is a lot because it's spot. Down to 100 billion, so they've dropped 90 billion. Not quite in half. Yeah. Still obviously well above their March. January 24. Wait, what? January 24? Oh, yeah, it was January. I'm losing track of time. Losing my goddamn mind, everybody. Still obviously up from like January of 24, but yeah, they are down. This is showing us absolute outflows since October. It's not surprising though. I mean, when number go up, AM go up, and when number go down, AM go down. Not just because people are buying and selling, but also it's the value of the asset. So when the number goes down, even if no one sells, the AM goes down. I just don't think alts are in a better position. I don't know, maybe they're not even in a worse position, just like the same position. Love my videos. Thank you, Red Pillaki. What's up, my friend? Glad you caught alive. Long 𝐂𝐲 from 88, sold from 78. Somebody asked in the comments of the last one about 𝐂𝐲. Pull it up. Haven't pulled it up in a while. What's up, David B? How are you, bro? A lot of alts are at or below 7-year lows. It's a weird time. Weird time. Man, none of the longs. That short never filled. I remember people were asking about 𝐂𝐲, and I was like, bro, like $1 or $1. I guess we're at $1. But we were back here, and I was like, I think we're gonna get a bounce, but yeah, to where? $2. 238 never hit. Fell lower. I haven't checked in on this in a while. 𝐂𝐲 looks rough. It's kind of interesting, I guess. It's like, yeah, you still have some kind of low trend line here that's untapped. But I feel like any low trend line right now in alts that's untapped, it's just like waiting to be tapped. It's just like gonna be tapped. We had so many great longs here too, and it just shit the bed with the rest of the market, obviously. Yeesh. Yeesh. It's $1. I mean, this is it, 𝐂𝐲. Hold on to $1 or seek the next levels lower. Where the hell is that? Like 50 cents? You already had your order book cleared as from October. Like the rest of the market, probably looking for a squeeze at some point, but still a knife, right? All of these moves, and honestly, even Bitcoin is still pretty knifey. Yeah, I'd rarely call Bitcoin a knife, but even Bitcoin, pretty knifey. At any point, we can see a squeeze on just across the space, and the more we move down with no big move up, the closer we get to that squeeze. But timing a squeeze is just so hard. If possible at all, it is so hard. The only thing you can really do is set orders ahead of time, limit sell, whatever orders, and pray they fill and don't liquidate. And that's the issue with honestly playing almost any alts with leverage. It's like, that's the only way to catch a lot of the moves. But with alts and their low market caps, when you use leverage, you'll see the squeezes, and the squeezes sometimes will just go to ridiculous prices for a quarter second. We can call that manipulation, but they'll do it for like a quarter second and then go down. And it won't even happen on every exchange. It's like just where yours is, and it's like part of a squeeze. There's just never enough liquidity to like really catch them. They're really hard to play. Man, you already broke to 80. I mean, 𝐂𝐲 130. You know, if you have a long in at $1, you caught a long like 130 is probably not a bad target. Not a bad target to short. I love longs, man. I'm not a short trader, but I've become more and more of a short trader, I guess, over the last 5 years. Because shit's just been going down. There hasn't been the moves to catch. This chart makes me very uncomfortable. I don't think that, like, I don't think I want a long or a short on this. I don't think I want to be around this chart. Like, for instance, like talking about short squeeze, like a short squeeze on this could like take you to like 230, and then you just don't, like, just wick, and then you're back here like in one candle, like you're here, and it's like, up, now all the shorts got taken out, all longs are liquidated, and you dump it. At least the one thing is, at least it hasn't gone lower than October. Many have. Yeah, I think this is setting up for another momentum leg down. I think you see some kind of crawl up and move down. Bank. Alts really just didn't get a 4-year cycle. What is it, Sui? Whatever, like a Soul. Yeah, Tom Barty. I did read about that. I don't, like, especially if crypto stays boring, probably have to learn more about these things. Google issued, or they either issued it or they're gonna issue 100-year bonds. So that's Google saying we're gonna be around in 100 years, or do you want to bet on us being around in 100 years? And the reason it's obviously so crazy is like, who would buy them? And the answer is no human. Institutions or companies might. Government, I guess, could or something. But like, you're not going to live 100 years, so you're not going to live to the maturity date. I wonder what the implications are, or how common that is. Do you know? Have you ever heard of other companies doing that? I wonder if this is like a response to like the dollar's hegemony. Google is a forward, long-thinking, future-oriented company, and like maybe that's a response to the dollar hegemony of like maybe people want our debt instead of the U.S. debt, instead of America's debt. Maybe people want Google's debt. Where's good price for Sui? Dude, not. They're just like is not a really good price for Sui. $1. We already hit $1. You lose $1, what, like 50 cents is probably the next number. You gotta pray this bounces, bros. Like, it's interesting to me that people are still looking for longs on this. October, monthly closed down 27%, 36%, 6%, 17%. Now we're down 16% this month. Like, it's interesting that people are still looking for longs, and it almost feels like because people are looking for longs, that it isn't going to bottom. Like, and then when people are like, I'm done with this, it will. I wonder what price that is. 50 cents, 25 cents, 10 cents. Like, I don't know. There's an attractive force on this chart at like 230. If you are in a spot position and you're underwater and you're feeling bad, there is a force up here. There's liquidity by many measures sitting around 230. I'd front run in like 225. If I was in a bad position and I saw that price, I'd get out. But man, like, you're just catching knives, like 50, 60 cents down here. This monthly candle could look worse, but it, by no means is it good. Like, traded below $1, now it's back above $1. Like, close above $1. Maybe you're holding it. Maybe you're looking for $50, but like, dudes, is a rough chart. Shantikaro, I wonder, seems very body. Yeah, nice bot in here, Shantikaro. Never sent a message. Congratulations, huge milestone. So they're congratulating themselves on this. They're congratulating themselves. Huge milestone, hitting $M. My fiance and I have been investing since 2 years. We built our portfolio to 4.5 million. We are live comfortably. So technically, we could coast BUTL bills. Never said anything before. I mean, I hope you're not a bot. I hope that's true. Congrats. That'd be awesome. But like, I don't know. You never sent a message here before. It's kind of like not saying a human usually would say. Seems odd. Don't like to short, but you've been shorting a lot. Dude, same hidden bullet. There's been no longs. There's nothing to long. Like, we were looking at longs for metals, and it's like that almost time seems over. And now what? Like, markets to me are looking toppy. I think stocks look toppy. I think gold and silver look toppy. Bitcoin has already signaled it already has gone through its toppiness. Like, we've been waiting a long time for this. I think stocks look toppy. We had Pam Bondi yelling about 50,000 DJI. Like, if I've ever heard of a top ever, that sounds like one. I mean, I don't think we're going Great Depression, but like another April move. We're coming up. April's getting close, right? God, I gotta move in April. Son of a bitch. Markets feel toppy to me. It's a weird position for me to be in. I don't know if I really felt that way before. Was I soul? What's up, the original? Appreciate me. Can you look at BNKR? Are you the one that asked me about BNKR like a while ago? I don't think I got an alert. I think I pulled it up for you. What time frames EMA am I using? What's up, Richard? Richard Van Hoodonk. I typically use, when you see me pull these up, these are moving averages, not EMAs. They're MAs. Subtle but important difference because you'll get different results if you're doing this with EMA. I use the 20, the 50, the 100, and 200. And on my charts, it's always white is 20, yellow is 50, blue is 100, green is 200. And then what time frame? I like to use them on like daily, weekly, monthly. I don't typically use them on really low time frames. Maybe I didn't look at this. This chart's pretty wild. Huh? Bankers Investment Trust, the banks. I thought we had looked at this. We had a chart, but there's nothing on the chart, so might have pulled it up on a stream and then forgotten. Let's see. Got like a channel or something here. February 25, that's kind of crazy. February 25, it traded down. Oh, that's not even that much. 27% back up. What is... This is a really low low volatility. Yeah, it's like not super volatile. It's at all-time highs basically. It's like I'll go with this like 150. 150. So let's see this. This is gonna be almost the exact same number, but I'll do this one. It's more recent. Yeah, like 150, 175. Probably good areas to look. Yeah. Maybe I'll come back to that at some point. Where is Solana? Solana reminding me of Ethereum. Just like how can they not bounce? Like they're down so bad, and it's like it feels like if they don't bounce now, they're just going right back to the bear market lows. But it feels like that's too soon. Like it's like too quick. Getting nuked. Just like no support is holding. Hit this low trend. Now you're like chilling out. Smaller weekly candles. Solana trades back to 100. I might short it. Like, I think realistically we got to start, looking at bear markets and how coins react in bear markets. And I mean, back to your bear market lows, you hope you don't trade below them. And typically they don't. But like, I don't know, like $25, is that a crazy idea for Solana now? Not really. I mean, it won't have bounces along the way. I mean, there's actually even a lot of upside where you can still just remain in this channel. Bottomed at $8 in 22. I remember that. 23 would actually be a pretty big step up. That's 300%. 300% from the previous bear market. It wouldn't even be a bad spot to hold. I do think that. So I do think that also going to make those moves. this year, unless, you know, we get blindsided by a bull market, which I haven't given up hope on, but it certainly seems not the probable move. What was I saying? It's not the probable move. Bear markets. He was like looking at the lows. I had some other thought. It just slipped my mind. Time wise, hour and 20. That's why. That chart's not correct. Which one? X is down again, bro. X wants to start trading. They want to do like trading stuff, and they have like 80 people on their team. They're obviously, what they're really doing is they're just trying to take all the commissions. They're trying to take all the commissions from like exchange. From me. They're trying to take all the commissions. That's what it is. They don't give a shit about the rest of it. Going lower, aren't we? One now? One Nito. I mean, one Nito. What's up, man? We follow last year. That's what we're looking at. Or follow 22. That's what we're looking at. This is what everyone. But that, like, this is what everyone's looking at. So how can this happen? To be fair, though, I feel like everyone was like kind of bearish here too, and then we kept falling. So maybe it's the cycle of people are right. I don't know. That's crazy to me. Oh, the BNKR one wasn't the right one? Is that what you're saying? New moon, February 14th, to need it. No FUD with X down. What's the right move? Patience, right? Is crypto in a bad position? What changed fundamentally? I don't think anything did. I don't think anything fundamentally changed. Well, I mean, fundamentally, there were many changes. There was government, you know, government regulation, intervention, institutions. I mean, those things changed fundamentally. Fundamentally about Bitcoin, you know, itself, nothing has changed. Maybe fundamentally the cycle, the timing, you know? Like, in 21... Even 21 wasn't the best. But anyway, I digress. Even 21, you know, there was like GME, AMC. There was like a few kind of like movements in assets. And I don't mean price movements. I mean like ideological kind of cultural movements in assets. But like largely crypto took the stage. I guess like even in 17, maybe the case, like what competition was there? And then maybe fundamentally in this one, we've had the shiny AI, you know, shiny AI new thing, take the stage. I don't know. I feel like all of the things that changed fundamentally should have been bullish, should have played out positively. Don't know, man. I don't know. There is always, we always have to keep this on our shoulder and our thoughts. It's like everything we know about like a cycle in 4 years, like inevitably will break. Even though it still fits pretty tightly right now. With October being the all-time high, the 4-year cycle fits pretty neatly into this package. But inevitably it will break. It won't continue to do that forever. Like, just like can guarantee it won't. And so at some point, you know, maybe we escape it. At some point, it just looks different. Maybe that time is coming soon. That'd be awesome. But it's probably not the best bet. So are we going lower? Probably this year, yeah. Yeah. What am I doing? I'm looking for upside moves to take hedges, shorts on. I don't know. At this point, it's like, am I really going to sell my Bitcoin? 67, 69,000. That's like selling, what's weird is like where we are right now is the equivalent in price to like June of 22 when we were we only had one little more move to the bottom. Because it was back at the previous all-time high. Like that's where we are now. We're back at the previous cycle all-time high. It's like selling your Bitcoin at 20K back in 22. And it's like, that did not age. I mean, for many months you felt good about it, but it only traded like 20% lower. I'm not selling my Bitcoin for a 20% move. If we see like 100K, I don't know, maybe I'll sell some spot. Sell like more, you know, spot. Maybe I'll sell like 100K. Maybe I'll sell one Bitcoin. I don't know. we do? I think what we do is we keep stacking. And we pray that something changes and prepare for, a similar year. I don't know. Saying Bitcoin won't continue going up? That's no. What I'm saying is I think it's reasonable and logical to expect the same, right? I didn't mean to make that one this low. That's not what I meant. I think reasonable and logical, it's like to accept that we're still looking at a 4-year cycle. And so that means more lows likely in this year. That the low will come towards the end of the year. And that will enter another bullish market in 27. I think that's like a logical place to be mentally. I think it's always good to be prepared and ready for anything. I absolutely believe Bitcoin will trade higher than 126,000. Just maybe not this year. Not saying it's impossible this year. But I'd probably put the odds at like 10% or less. I would put the odds very, very good that it will trade higher than 126,000 in 2027, 28, 29. I put that at like 90%. I don't know. Until proven otherwise, it's like we should prepare for what has happened and then adjust when we go forward. I think Bitcoin does have some upside in this year even. I don't think it's going to continue to trade like this only. I'm just skeptical of where that upside brings us. I'm not confident in that upside in the sense of I'm not confident it's going to bring us back to all-time highs. Never know. You never know. Get some chilling music. Sold everything around 100K or DCAing back in. Cool. You're telling me, poor Jim, you're telling me 48K is the low? It's a good guess. We'll all find out together. God, I can't tell you how many times in 22 people were telling me what the low would be. And I want to say like none of them called it. I don't think any of them called 15. Everybody was looking for lower. That's the thing. As price moves down, people look for lower numbers. As price moves up, they look for higher numbers. That sounds silly, but it's like exponential. It's like a momentum mechanic. Like as things move up, the higher calls like start to gap. They start to get like exponentially higher, and as it goes lower, they start to get exponentially lower. Nobody knows, man. I don't think anybody knows. If we have 1 million people, hell, we don't even need 1 million people. If we have 66 people, we could do this in this room right now in this live chat. If we all just pick a different number, 0 to 60K, or yeah, 0 to 60, and we all just, you pick 1,000, you pick 2,000, 3,000, 50,000, 51,000, 52. Like one of us is going to be right, but none of us knew what was going to happen. We all were just putting numbers out there, and there's only so many numbers, right? We'll find out together. Little chance. Yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I'm saying, Tom Brady. Is like the chance of an all-time high this year, I'm going to put it at like 10%. It's not impossible, but it's like not something I'm going to bet on. It's not something I think is a good odds, right? 10% is probably generous. The odds of us ever breaking all-time high, I don't know, probably 100%. Ever. Big enough timeline. No, 100%. That's my opinion. Doesn't matter how low we go, just buy. Yeah, it's a good way to do it. Waiting on the first impulse wave to start. ABC. Sure. Why does GoDaddy only take PayPal? Is there another domain host you try? I use GoDaddy, so I don't know. Baby genius, it's a weird feeling. It's a weird feeling, but if you're down on anything, sell that for the tax loss. Well, you should have done that at the end of last year. Yeah. I brought that up with you guys a few times into the end of the year. Especially because at the end of the year, virtually all crypto assets were down versus the start of the year and for the majority of the year. So like that was prime. That was prime. Yeah, that was prime. Now, I mean, now still, I mean, it still works, right? But, yeah, I mean, you sell them now, then you rebuy them over there. It still works. Tax advantage in that way. It's weird. Capital gains are weird. 2-year, 5-year projection. 2-year projection. 2-year. I don't know. We're back at 100K. We're lower than that. 5-year. I mean, I don't even know how to do that anymore. I don't even have like a compass to gauge a 5-year anymore, man. Like, not even 100% gain. 80% gain. Let's say like 50% gain. It's like 200K 5-year. I know. It's rough. The diminishing returns makes it very difficult. Or not difficult. It makes the numbers feel bad. Gold is starting to maybe lose its flat top here. Maybe starting to look more like a flag. Failing that 5100 test. I wonder what Polymarket's saying. I wonder. You know, 𝐂𝐴𝐲 wanted to sponsor us or something. Sponsor us, I don't know, just like pay for an integration. I don't know. Probably not even links or something. Might have to circle back to that. This year's looking rough. Let's see, live Bitcoin Polymarkets. Yeah, now they're doing freaking like little mini future things, which is wild. Wild. No, I want crypto. February. No, I want like farther out. Monthly. What price will Bitcoin hit in 2026? Wow. That is surprising. I'll get, maybe I'm being too bearish, guys. Polymarket actually with a 24% chance of 20K this year. 18% of 30K. So 18% is bringing. So Polymarket 8% more bullish than I am on an all-time high this year. I don't understand. The 250,000 5% is about $1 million on that. I guess that's some kind of weird hedge. I don't know. Let's see. Wait, this is odd. Okay. 75% chance of 55K. That's probably in the realm. Where's the bottom looking on this? Where's the highest volume? 15,000. This must be a hedge for a position or something. 10% of breaking the previous bear market low. I'd say all-time high, probably in the same realm of like breaking the previous all-time low, probability-wise. These are weird. We have a yearly. Can we get 2027? Can we get 2027s, or do they not have them? You know what honestly fundamentally changed? This shit. I wonder if these prediction markets have something to do with the weirdness in price action this cycle. I wonder. And the weirdness in price action of everything. Nothing moving. Super low volatile day. It's okay. Are we back to the days where I end the stream and Bitcoin runs? Dude, I hope those days come back. We end the stream and Bitcoin does nothing a lot of the time. Mostly just because it's been doing nothing a lot of the time. Although I say that, man, it's been going down. I don't know why I'm saying nothing a lot of the time. No. I feel like it's been dumping. Yeah, you have to take 10 months for that to pay out. That's something that people don't really get when they start those. I've never used prediction markets, but like if it's will Bitcoin, you know, whatever, by the end of 26, like for that to resolve, you have to wait till 26 is over. So you're locking that money up the whole year. But a lot of what people do is they don't lock it up for the year. They're like selling and buying either spreads, or they're selling and buying as kind of the confidence and sentiment shifts, the changes in those percents. So let's say you buy yes on something and it's like 10%, I don't know, 5%. It seems crazy, but you're not actually expecting it to resolve yes. What you're doing is you're maybe anticipating information coming out or market changes that make people think that the probability is higher, and they buy that up, and then those people sell those essential, like, you know, 5% calls or whatever at like 8%, and they pocket, you know, 30% or something like that. They're not actually expecting it to resolve that way. They're just expecting the probability to change and to play that volatility. And then sometimes there's likely scenarios where it's arbitrage, and they're looking at two different markets and they have the same call, the same pull, whatever. They're betting on the exact same thing and the probability is different. And so they're buying maybe yes on one and selling no on the other, and they're making the spread. They're just doing arbitrage. Polymarket has Jesus returning. Yeah. What's up, Esp? How you doing, bro? Check out what? Jesus returning. Oh yeah, I pulled it up. I feel like they list these things. They list these things to just take money from dumb people, and it's not like, no, please don't bet. They take money from dumb people in both directions here. So dumb people thinking that it's gonna happen, right? But dumb people also thinking that, like, that means that, like, it will resolve. No, like, dumb people not reading the terms and like how this resolves, and betting on it and getting like trapped into these things, dude. Let me see. The second coming of, how would you even resolve that? What does that even mean? Consensus of credible sources. You know, even at this point, you're locking up, you know, you put $100 on this, you're locking up $100 till the end of the year for 4%. For $4. 4% return. That's not the best return. But a lot of these markets operate on just like ignorance, preying on your ignorance. If you're ever going to do any of them, and I don't really recommend it, but if you ever do any of these markets, you absolutely must read the resolution before you take any stance on any of it. Like I just did. It was like whatever it said about Jesus' second coming. But like, you have to do that, because the question that it says, like, will this do that, is not how it resolves, like, most of the time, like in the way it might appear. And that's where a lot of the money is made, is like, you go to the terms and you'll see it's like based on something else, based on, you know, like a source or whatever. There's more to it. Don't just read it and be like, haha, free money. There's no such thing, bros. It's not how that goes. The people who are making money on those sites, the real money, are insiders. They've somehow legalized insider trading. You can't do insider trading on your own publicly traded stock, but you can open a prediction market and do the exact same thing. Like, it's crazy. We live in a mad world, bro. The odds, in my opinion, are 0, but yeah. D'Lo says you could pick Patriots. It's like sports betting though. 33%, and then thought that they could get to like a 50%, but they never did. A hedge fund manager commenting on crypto in November said, prediction markets and sports betting took all the retail. Oh yeah, dude. Well, it took sports betting might be the factor itself. Sports betting is insane. It's like the average person right now, it's like, who sports bets loses like how many thousand a year or something. Like, it's draining us. And maybe, you know, that's reflective. It's like there's more avenues for gambling. And let's be real, like, crypto was used for gambling. There was always that division of like, there are people here that see the value, and oftentimes, okay, there are people here that see the value and the ideology and why, like Bitcoin. And then there was always just the degens, like the NFT people. There's always like the people that are here to gamble. A lot of the time, I think, or I'd like to think, that the gamblers came and then learned about Bitcoin, about crypto, and then saw value and stayed. But it was always there, and it was always even a moral dilemma of like, man, a lot of these people are just here to lose money because like addiction. And because now, sports betting is so prominent in the prediction markets, there are just other avenues for it that are easy and unregulated and popular. And maybe that was it. Maybe that was a big part of it. Gold, 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 gold. Gold's right here, bro. I don't know why. Like you came in spamming Bitcoin, and are coming in spamming gold. Like these charts are just where they were. They're at the same price. There's been no movement today. Yep, the odds change, and you can sell the price action. That's what I said, Luke, pretty much. This music's kind of depressing. I can't really hear it. It's a mix, so who knows what got put on. Who knows? Man. All right, well, it's President's Day. This has been chilling. We're almost live for 2 hours now, so it's time, boys. Really quick, help support the stream, and we need the support because it's getting rough. Sign up with our exchange partners, FEMEX. Links pinned to the chat in the video description below. BYDFi. They're great exchanges. They're partners. I've worked with them for years. I can help you out if you ever have issues. If you use my link, you'll get VIP roles in our Discord, discord.gg/TomCrown if you use them. We'll be live again Wednesday for the FOMC minutes. It's going to be fire. It's going to be a great time. Tune in then at 1:30. If anything happens, I don't know, overnight tonight, tomorrow, we'll be live spicy style. But for now, I appreciate you all, your time, attention. Have a great President's Day, whatever that means.